Well, I guess the most heartbreaking experience for me is all of the needless suffering and the mindless destruction of something so beautiful as Mother Earth.
I come from chieftain clans. It's my duty to protect the people at all costs. That's my duty in my Indian culture. And since we have many guests of many races on our continent today, then I take responsibility for my brothers and sisters of all color. And you go within your own heart, and when you're not at peace, you know you're going wrong. Because the life force is anchored in the heart. Consciousness is anchored in the head. The life force is anchored in the heart center.
John Grunseth and DFLer Rudy Perpich aren't challenging her to a debate.
And you won't see her political ads. But nonetheless, Judith Ann Chosa is running for Minnesota governor. She doesn't want to run a low-key campaign, but as Jason Davis reports, you'll understand better when you see the challenges she has to overcome.
The Boundary Waters Canoe Area is a vast wilderness in the far north of Minnesota. It's a pristine refuge for all creatures of the woods and lakes and a land protected from mining and logging. It's also the home of the last Ojibwe family to live in this wilderness, heart warrior Chosa and her 11-year-old son, Sunrise. Water is hauled straight from the lake. There's no plumbing, and the only light is from a kerosene lantern. Heart warrior's family has lived here for generations. She's a 45-year-old college graduate who is descended from a long line of Indian chiefs, and she is setting out to become chief executive of Minnesota. If elected, she says one of her targets will be the mining companies that have cast envious eyes at what she calls her land.
They will not be allowed to mine in this area one way or another. If we, the people, cannot stop them, then Mother Nature will stop them in a big way.
Heart Warrior is running a truly grassroots campaign. We asked her what was the largest amount she'd ever had in her war chest.
$500 maybe.
Heart Warrior Chosa, Judith Ann, as she will appear on the ballot in November, has a campaign stop to make in Duluth. The unrelenting rain will make it a long, wet journey. Against the wind, this first passage across Basswood Lake will take more than an hour. To lift her sagging spirits, Heart Warrior raps out campaign slogans.
Outlaw pornography and all abuse, or what's the use?
At appropriately named 4 Mile Portage, Heart Warrior and her faithful Sunrise begin the long haul to the 6 Mile crossing of Fall Lake.
By Nickel, the EQB set, all trees, animals, fish will be dead.
It takes between 4 and 6 hours, depending on the weather, for this gubernatorial candidate just to get to civilization. It takes another 2 hours to drive to Duluth.
You know, in our traditional Indian culture, the elders always, like you said, plan for the future generations. And they're the ones with the wisdom that can guide that.
Candidate for governor of Minnesota, Heart Warrior Chosa will not return to her Boundary Waters home until the spring. By then, she'll know if her cry from the wilderness has been heard. Jason Davis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Heart Warrior's running mate is Steve Hesh-Brueggemann, a 35-year-old teacher from St. Cloud, Minnesota.
She's got some spunk, huh?
Beautiful country.